Hi everyone, I'm Kelly, and today what I want to talk about was protein. I completed my nutrition study last year, and one of the big things that my friends would say is, "Well, what's the biggest thing you learned from your study?" Now, I always kind of ate well, and I knew what I should be eating generally. I didn't realize it was the amount of protein we need to eat. Honestly, do not think that I was eating enough protein. And I guarantee you, most women out there, especially at my age and above, so I'm 55, are not getting enough protein. What is so important about protein for everyone is that it's really a foundational building blocks for our immune system, our muscle. It's critical for hormones. It's needed for growth. Now, muscle repair is basically growing it when you're at the gym and you're building your muscle, which we all should be doing. Now after menopause, it really drops, and so does bone density. So it's essential that we get enough protein. What happens if you don't get enough protein? Just think, more muscle loss. It's going to protein is needed, and it's going to take it from our muscles. Just think like that. That just means more muscle loss. Okay, not good. It's also going to slow your metabolism. No one wants that after they're 55. We're not metabolic machines anymore. That's not a thing. You're going to have poor recovery. So the Australian guidelines, these are baselines. They'll be pretty standard across Western world globally. Women is zero point 0.7 grams of protein per kilograms, and men is 0.85 per kilograms. So let me just give you a scale of what this looks like. So for an average woman of 71 kilograms in Australia, that's 53 grams of protein. For men at 87 kilograms, that's 73 grams of protein. Now, this is a baseline recommendation. Baseline means it stops you from having a deficiency. That's all a baseline is. It's not optimal. So for your optimal health span, women should be having 1.2. Okay, the minimum of 1.2. Now, the older you get, so we're targeting right here for the over 50s, the way we absorb protein is less unless the way we absorb nutrients is going down. So we want a little bit more than that. Now, if you're very active and you're higher training load, you need more for recovery. I'm going to go between 1.2 to 1.8. Now, for the average woman, the optimal 1.2 is 85 grams you need per day. Okay, and the upper amount is 127.8 per day. But what does this actually look like? So we're going to start to get into your head 100 grams. You roughly want about 100 grams per day. Let's have a look at some examples of what 25 grams of protein looks like. It will give you a better idea of how to get to that magic 100. So 25 grams is like a small cooked chicken or turkey or salmon. It's a small can of tuna, 4 large eggs, so an omelette with 4 eggs would work. It's quite a small bit of lean beef. Beef is quite high in protein. Surprisingly, a cup of cottage cheese will get you 25 grams. A cup of Greek yogurt will get you 25 grams. Now, I think it's important to incorporate some vegetable sauces as well. Lentil pasta, 125 dry grams of lentil pasta will give you that 25 grams. Now, what I love about lentil pastas or chickpea pastas is it is a pasta, but it has protein, which I prefer than just straight wheat pasta. 1 cup of tofu is 25 grams, 1.5 cups of lentils, 1.5 cups of edamame, and roughly the same for black beans. So what I do like to do in my meals in the day is make sure that every one of my meals, my breakfast, my snacks, my lunch, and my dinner contain protein. Now, I don't go chomping on animal meat morning, noon, lunch, and dinner. I don't. I really mix it up. I do like to put the Well, one, I like to get a fair bit of protein from dairy, and it's really important for women because it's got the calcium. We so need that for our bones, right? So I like when you're coupling two major things that we need. So that's that calcium and the protein. So cheese, yogurt, milk. What I love about the plant proteins is you're also getting fiber. Now, something I want to say too is in one sitting, your body really can't absorb more protein than about 30 grams. So there's no point um, thinking, okay, I need 100 grams. I'm going to eat my dinner and then I'm going to have a protein shake on top of that. Doesn't work like that. Or having a Brazilian barbecue and I'm going to eat all my meat in one sitting, my whole 100 grams. Your body can't absorb it like that. It's also a very heavy load on your body eating like that. So um, just space that protein out, and that's why it's good to make sure that it's in each meal. The other thing that why it's good in each meal is it's going to reduce that insulin spike. Let's go for a meal plan. So my breakfast, pretty boring at breakfast. Occasionally I mix it up, but 5 days a week it's chia seeds and oats soaked in. I tend to use some kefir milk. That's because I like the bacterials in it, and some yogurt overnight. That's so in the morning I'll put some handful of nuts, I put some flax seeds and some fruit. So my breakfast there alone is 33 grams of protein, which I've just told you what some animal products look like at 25. So it's quite a powerful big hit. I have my matcha coffee, which is just really blended matcha in milk in the morning. That is my equivalent to a coffee. That's 8 grams. Let's have a salad for lunch. Let's say we're going to put some 2 eggs in it. We're going to put some chickpeas. We're going to sort of, put a bit of animal product. Something I haven't touched on also is that, right, so animal product comes with the full amino acids to be a complete protein, okay? There are some plant-based that are complete proteins, but less so often, it's more rare. So complete proteins, examples of complete proteins in your plant-based is, again, magic chia seeds, quinoa, edamame, they are complete proteins. Now, the others aren't, but it's okay. You just have to combine them with some other foods. Brown rice and lentils will make them complete proteins. Some toast, beans will make them complete proteins. So with my salad, I like to have the 2 eggs in it because with the chickpeas, because I've got a bit of complete protein because it's coming from an animal and chickpeas. This salad's going to be 32 grams of protein. Some examples of snacks, they're 10 grams of protein. You could have some yogurt. You could have a handful of nuts and fruit. You can have a slice of cheese on toast. My dinner, I'm going to have a salmon, okay? A small piece of salmon and some vegetables, let's say. Once I add all this up, I've hit my 100 grams of protein. So it's perfect. So if you consciously sort of think like that, I don't think that you have to go counting it, but just be conscious that I want to put some protein into each of my meals. Now, there is a point of too much protein. Too much protein is very taxing on your kidneys. I'm not a fan of diets that are really high protein and eliminating food. As a nutritionist, and I'm sure other people may disagree and you may love that kind of the keto or the paleo, I'm not a fan. There are things that we need from all types of food groups. I don't like knocking out any food groups. It's a choice for people to be vegetarian. I was vegan for a little while and it was just too hard. But, vegetarians and vegans can absolutely get enough protein because I've pointed out the amount of protein grams that are in non-animal sources. They just have to obviously be careful. It's easier to get your complete proteins when you're eating animal. Probably half of my protein comes from non-animal based. However, too much protein really hurts your kidneys. You do not want to go over 2 grams per kilogram of your body. So for me, I absolutely don't want to go over 132 grams of protein per day. Doesn't mean one day I have a big meat fest, my body's going to fall apart. Absolutely not. It's just taxing on that day, but you certainly don't want to keep those levels up. People have asked me, well, what are my thoughts on protein powders? Now, our ancestors weren't falling over not having protein powders. No, I generally don't think that people need protein powders. I think you can get it from your food. Where I do think that supplementation is important is for special groups. I'm going to just single out here the really elderly, where their food intake is quite low, and so it's really hard to get all the nutrients that you need. So or substance that older people take, I think that's great because it covers that broad spectrum in the right ratio of vitamins and minerals and has protein in it. So yes, there's certainly situations that I think that it's needed, but does the average person really need to be pumping up with some protein products? I don't think so. So I hope you found this informative. I'd love to hear your comments, what you found. I know that through my health journey, upping the protein has taken away a lot of cravings that I have for sugars, and it's made it easier to balance my energy levels, where if I'm having a lot of carbs, my energy may go up and then it slumps down. Protein really will protect you against that. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that this has encouraged you to really look at your diet and make sure that you're getting an adequate amount of protein. Thank you.